Welcome to another meeting of TVholics Anonymous.
My name is Ruru and I am a TVholic.
My name is Mimi and I'm a TVholic.
So today we're going to talk about RHOA. We've got 2 episodes of RHOA to talk about. So let's go on with it.
Episodes 13 and 14, where we start off with Shamea trying to negotiate getting rid of some toys with her child.
Yeah, and that's for the drive.
Yeah, that's for the drive. Yeah, so she talks about how they're going to donate some stuff to the drive.
Yeah, so we don't need to talk about all that. We'll just get on with what happened. So what are the main parts that happen?
So basically,
We're trying to do a quick episode, guys.
Yes. So basically, Porsha says that she's really philanthropic, and everyone has sent lots of stuff in. Drew sends a box of goodies in, but basically, the emerged that Brit doesn't end up bringing much stuff. So
yeah, she just comes with her Birkin bag and like a box of toilet roll, basically,
and a box of paper rolls or something like that.
Yeah, and they were like they noted that and they weren't really happy with it. Then
Shamea's like, how can you do that? Like, come in with all your stuff.
Yeah, is this where? Yeah.
With all your Birkin and stuff, and then just drop like paper towels. Not really.
So then what happened after that? Then they move into the next scene. The next scene.
Let's see.
Remember not to say We gotta remember not to do that.
Then we go on to the main thing is that Drew and Porsha meet before Grenada because they want to squash their beef.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't really end up happening. I think they squash it more in Grenada than they do here.
Yeah. Because this one, she just walks up. Porsha gets pissed and then she just walks off.
And Porsha drops the other thing is Porsha drops this guy called Black that apparently Drew's
his name, like saying that you're dating him, and then Drew's just denying it. Also, Drew she's really annoying me there because she kept saying that. Oh, I need ginger tea for my throat, and then the woman's like, okay, then, and then she's like, we don't have it, and then she gave her something else, and then she's like, but can you just go back and go get me a ginger tea because I really need it, like, and she was just so annoying, like, they're not your slaves, you know, people.
And I hate her smirking face. She's always smirking with her face, like, you know, she's got something up her sleeve.
Yeah, Drew is really annoying.
That is the first time where Drew also says, like, I know you're annoyed with me filming with Dennis, but I'm annoyed at the fact that you film with Ralph, because she's obviously found out through the producers now as well about that. So it doesn't really go anywhere. They don't really squash it. Porsha ends up leaving. And then everyone's packing. Shamea's mom tells her to pack a Bible, which is
foreboding. And it's also like she's trying to basically insinuate that there's going to be drama because these people are like horrible and Porsha's horrible and this and that.
Yeah, she's basically before they leave, Kelli is with her kids, and it's a scene where she basically says that it takes a village to look after my kids. She's got a publicist called Kamaya and someone else who's going to look after her kids and take them to school because it's the first day of school before
this was all weird.
While they leave, but her publicist says, I spoke to her husband, Mark. Is it Mark?
Yeah.
Mark. He said that I called Mark and he doesn't really want to hash anything out. And he said, do it for your kids. And he said no. So basically, Mark's an asshole.
Yeah, and that scene was like made by Kelli. Like she told that guy what to do and say to make Mark look terrible. Basically, make her ex look terrible.
He is terrible.
Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, you're right. Next.
So everyone gets to the airport, and
that was interesting to see how they all arrive and everything like that.
So Phaedra just can't help but be shady from the beginning. Phaedra's like, Angela might be the oldest looking young woman I've ever met.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but guess what? I'm laughing, but Phaedra is like an evil person. Like, she's always cussing people out for no reason, and like, she's a terrible person.
Can I tell you that
that's all she's got. She's not showing any part of her life. She's just got the fact that she just cusses people out like constantly.
Yeah, she's a shady tree. She is. I just want to tell you because I watched Married to Medicine and that aired just before and she was in it for a bit. She came in with her tail between her legs in that program. There was not much shade. She was very mild, and now when she's come back to this, she's gone back to her old face. I think she feels at home.
I know why.
She feels at home. She's got people, but
It's not because of that. It's because the last time she was on Bravo, she was portrayed as like the demon, like she did that to Candy, and all these people know Candy because I think it's in Atlanta as well, Married to Medicine, if I'm right, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So they all like she went like I know Candy went to some of the doctors and there for like fertility treatment. She knows them very well, and I feel like she felt like scared going in there. Like she felt like I have to be on my best behavior kind of thing, and like I can't be myself like that. And she didn't have any allies, basically.
She got pushed out real quick. Those women in Married to Medicine are tough, let me tell you. She got pushed out real quick.
I don't watch that. I know that you do, so.
Which is good.
Next. We moved on. We move on. Got to do this real quick.
She just carried on being shady, Phaedra, because she's like, oh, I don't know what kind of... She it's really weird. She said that, oh, Drew's been a lot of... I know she's been... I don't know what she's been in, but she's been in a lot of black movies. Like, was she on Soul Train? Which is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blessed to be on Soul Train. That is so good. That Soul Train, I love Soul Train.
Okay.
So funny. So...
Are you talking about Soul Train, or are you thinking about Soul Plane?
Soul Plane, sorry, Soul Plane.
Soul Plane. Soul Train is like something from like way back.
No, Soul Plane.
Soul Plane is good, yeah.
And like, if someone told me it was I on Soul Plane, I'd be like, that is a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
what happens next?
Then they get to the villa, which looks really nice. And they're dancing around with the stilt men.
Yeah. They're getting a bit too close for comfort, like that. Like all these housewives are always touching the men, like
Yeah, Phaedra's like, I love a stranger. Who says I love a stranger? Like, what did your childhood? What kind of childhood did you have? Strangers are dangerous.
Oh, she did. Yeah, stranger danger. And also, what about Apollo? Yeah, what about her situation with Apollo? Doesn't tell you that she's very terrible with men and her picker's really off.
Yeah, but I don't believe that she was with him since she was like school. They said something.
No, she wasn't with him since she was in school. They just met, and I think she just got pregnant, and
No,
go back
on that.
They weren't together since school. Okay, anyway, they weren't together since school. I know that for a fact.
So then they decide they have to get their rooms, and
Porsha. And then the chef was
Cynthia and Drew end up getting like the worst room apparently, but none of the rooms are really bad, I don't think.
Yeah, but it was like nice of Drew to give Cynthia the bigger bed, because she could tell that Cynthia's not going to be able to fit into those tiny little beds, because Cynthia's a tall woman.
I don't know actually what happened with that, because she won the
but then she just conceded, and she just goes, you can have the bigger bed, the bigger room.
That's the nicest thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
I don't even know why Cynthia suggested let's do an arm wrestle, because you're not going to win that.
Cynthia's
stupid.
No. Okay, anyway.
So then they were flying with the chef.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they're flying with all the men.
Yeah. Okay. They were like really excited by his food and everything. Yeah, but I didn't think it looked appetizing at all.
I thought
what he was making. I didn't think so. I think the food that they were making in the next episode that we're going to talk about, looked more appetizing. You know, when they're outside and they cooked and then they put it on the plate, that looked like a curry.
Yeah.
Like a nice thick curry. But this guy's food isn't that.
What did you feel about the flirting with the chef? I felt really uncomfortable for him, but I'm sure he'd take it if he got it.
Yeah.
He's not going to say no.
If he's single and he's not like a committed man.
I mean,
but also these housewives always do that. They're always thrusting themselves upon all the men, like they're so desperate.
Gross.
In every franchise, yeah, they always do this. It's
Porsha leaves, and she's like, the things I do for some chicken wangs. So funny, I love it. The thing she does for some chicken wings. So
then we move on. Where did they go? They went off somewhere. They got in their little cabs, in their little cars. And
No, before that, Drew and Cynthia talking on the balcony. Apparently, Cynthia has a new man as well. Amsterdam.
Oh yeah, that new man with dreads. Okay, and he's much younger than Cynthia, and she calls him Amsterdam because he's from Amsterdam or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but it was sad that she felt like she said something about like I've never had a man that's been nice to me before, like treats me well, or that was quite sad to hear, because obviously that's from her daddy issues, because her dad like used to abuse her mother and stuff like that.
Shocked. I'm shocked Peter didn't treat her well.
Oh yeah. Peter the Piper.
That's the sarcasm if you didn't already. So by the way, Kelly's hair is not really looking. I mean, I think the humidity.
Kelly's hair. I also hated Angela's hair. I don't know what she's doing. There's so many gaps.
I think Angela looked the best that she has. Like at that dinner, I think she looked amazing.
Which dinner? In the second episode, when it was her anniversary.
Yeah, and when they
Yeah,
so
she
they're going
looked
to go
good
into
there.
that now. So when she's wearing the black thing, I think she looked really nice there. I just think that because the humidity it affects like it's crazy. I think with Kelly, I think it was a little bit affecting
Wait,
her.
did you manage to watch the President episode like I told you to?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, okay.
So then everyone's getting ready to go get ready for dinner, and apparently there's some naked man outside Phaedra and Brit's room, like
Okay.
bringing his. Do you remember that part?
Oh, yeah.
And Phaedra was like, I want to see that.
Yeah, Phaedra always wants to see a disgusting thing. Like,
Yeah.
no, weirdo.
So then they're talking about Angela announces at the dinner that it's her 8-year anniversary, and apparently it's a big thing that she's not with her husband. No one's believing
Oh,
this
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, no one
And
cares.
I'm already sick of their relationship. Why is she trying to pretend like he likes her? Not even love,
Yeah,
likes her.
yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
clear.
even like her.
And then what happens? Is this at the dinner you're talking about?
Yeah,
You're
this is
talking
at
about
the
the dinner.
dinner. Yeah. So Kelly basically then says that she wants to reset everyone's relationships and the energy around Shamea and Drew. And
yeah, that was awkward and weird. Is this when everyone had a fight? They had a fight.
yes. So
Yeah.
so
At
this
the end
is
of the
the
episode.
first. This is
Are we already?
the first episode of the
Yeah. Are we already at the
There's
end
two
of?
fights. There's two fights here. So yeah, this is the fight basically. So
That ends the episode. Yeah. Fight that
yeah.
ends the episode. Yeah. Go on.
So Angela basically says like the thing about Shamea and Porsha, why she was sticking her nose in, because you tell us all this stuff. So obviously we're gonna feel like you're not telling Porsha the truth, that you don't really think she's a good friend. And Shamea just says, look, I'm just responding to what you guys are saying. You're putting words into my mouth, so I'm saying, look, I do feel some kind of way about it.
Yeah.
But basically, I was really happy that Porsha just squashed it. She said, I've sorted this out with
Yeah.
Shamea, so we're not
Yeah.
going to go back on this. We're
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Shamea was actually happy that Porsha stuck up
Yeah.
for her.
But
I
then
don't know
who
what
was
goes
the
south
beef with
after.
at the? Yeah, but who was the beef at the end of the episode with?
So
It was Drew and
then
someone. I think it was
it was
Drew
Drew
and
and Porsha.
Drew and Porsha. Yeah.
They went back to the kind of their filming with each other's exes, and they weren't really happy about that.
Okay.
And so again, kind of squashed, semi-squashed, and then Brit decides to pipe up at the end and says like, "Oh, by the way, Phaedra, I invited Apollo somewhere."
Yeah, and I'm sorry
It was
about
just like
that.
out of pocket. It didn't make any
Yeah.
sense. She just
Yeah.
wanted to say something for the sake of saying something and
Yeah.
get some attention.
And then what happened right at the end of the episode? The last
That was it.
point. Okay, that was it. Okay, so let's move on to the next episode. So we're back at dinner.
Yeah, so
We're
it's the
continuing
morning
with the
after.
dinner.
No, it's morning after dinner. But apparently,
Okay.
throughout that evening, Porsha and Drew kind of made up because they got a bit drunk and they got like they were
Oh yeah. Yeah.
happy with stuff. So then Brit is FaceTiming Mike and she's like, You told me I couldn't bring my diamonds. Don't you like my tribal look? You
Yeah.
don't have diamonds.
She's
Stop faking the
yeah.
money.
She's pretending that she's got money like constantly. It's
And
like
that's
a
what Shamea,
plan.
I feel.
We all know.
I think that's what Shamea is trying to do throughout the season. Is that she's trying to out Brit and say,
She's
be
bought.
honest. Be honest about the situation. Because if you're not, I'm going to show you like this because you're not bringing money for donations.
Yeah, but we can tell by her house and her like lack of lifestyle that she is not rich. Next.
Yeah, I don't know. It's,
what happens next?
It's all crazy. So then
What happens?
There's all this stuff about this drama about Brit last night. Everyone's talking about how she wasn't having shots. She thinks shots are not classy, apparently. Another thing of that, I'm rich.
Yeah, but she's not. Do not.
Please. I thought that it was going to turn into like she's a pregnant situation, but
yeah, me too.
And
then we move on to.
So then we move on to Angela. She's calling Charles and she can't get through to him. She says she talked to him over the night before his anniversary.
That's just like we knew that was going to happen. He's not going to pick up the phone. He doesn't care.
In the confessional, she says it's like we're falling in love all over again each day. Lies. Like, what are you masking your bullshit with? Like we can see the camera's on you, mate. Hiding the truth.
Yeah. And then what does it move on to after that? Sorry, I'm trying to hurry you along because we've only got like a short time. We've only got like
Kelly
about 10 minutes left.
Kelly walks in on breakfast and Phaedra says that she's got some big old boobs for such a little itty bitty body. So she's just another cuss. There we go. Yeah. Brit basically says that she doesn't apparently Brit doesn't wear any underwear or bras. That's what Phaedra says. But then Shamea has the same situation because she couldn't wear any underwear because she doesn't have her luggage, which I forgot to mention before. She didn't have her luggage the whole trip.
Didn't have her luggage. Yeah,
I've
but
been
she
there.
looked really nice. Is that when she wore that yellow dress?
That was the night before she wore the yellow dress. Now this,
that
she's wearing
was
the
really
yellow.
nice.
No, she's wearing the yellow dress this night.
Yeah, and they said like they called her Beyonce or Kelly Rowland because it looked like the Survivor outfit. You know, I'm the Survivor.
Yeah. But that's
video.
actually Porsha's outfit, she said.
Oh yeah, that would look great on Porsha as well.
So then they all split up to go to different daytime events. So the OGs with Shamea, so that's Cynthia, Phaedra, Porsha, go to the waterfalls. Yeah. And then the rest of them go to some distillery and what was it? Some sort of go cooking for the cooking class.
Oh, so yeah. So that's what I was talking about earlier. That cooking, that food looked better.
Yeah, Phaedra. They have a little.
They were twerking at the waterfall. They all started twerking at the waterfall.
Yeah, they all started twerking at the waterfall. I think that was like really nice. It was kind of like
they were like chilling out,
happy moment.
Yeah.
And Shamea was saying that she was like happy, like she felt quite comfortable to just be in her two-piece because she had no choice because her one piece got taken with the luggage, with the luggage. Yeah. But she felt really comfortable. And then
I thought she said that she didn't feel comfortable, but she had to just like deal with it.
Yeah, but then she was like with the waterfall and everything, I was just feeling myself in the end. So I just felt like Kelly Rowland, you know?
Yeah.
No, not Kelly Rowland. She felt like someone. Can't remember. And before that, in the car ride, this is where the disconnect between Brit and Shamea starts to happen, and we start to realize that there's something going on there. She's saying that Brit keeps being weird with me, and I'm not being weird with her, but the thing is, like, she only donated £250 and bought me some paper towels. And Phaedra says, look, if you got the money, it's at least 1,000 per person.
Yeah, that was weird because you can't put a price on how much someone else can donate. You know, you don't know anyone else's financial situation.
I guess they're trying to get annoyed with the fact that you're trying to act rich, so do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to be honest, like, because they won't have a problem if she said that she kind of like if she was being honest, but the fact is, don't be rich everywhere else and then not give when you need to give.
Yeah, so true.
So Porsha also, it was nice to say that Porsha said that Drew does need to apologize for the lapdog comment, and they've obviously they were bonding quite a bit. She was saying that Porsha was saying that that Drew needs to apologize to Shamea about the lapdog.
Oh yeah.
Because she said that Drew's trying to make it as though you're beneath me, but you're not. Like, you're my equal.
So that shows solidarity between Porsha and Shamea. Like Porsha was literally like, that's my girl, don't mess with her and things like that, basically.
Yeah. In the meantime, Brit's trying to say like she's really likes Phaedra because they have mutual friends in common. ? We don't know if that's true. I bet Phaedra would deny that. Charles is. Then Phaedra says that Charles is a lot of fun. She knows Charles from back in the day. She said he's a lot of fun. He's always
married. I don't know him to be married. Okay.
Yeah, but she also said that it was 10 years ago. Yeah, she also said it was 10 years ago we knew him. They've only been together for 8 years. So
yeah,
Phaedra with her shady wand.
Null and void.
Yes. Drew.
Drew did what?
No. Then we're at the dinner. Well, not the dinner, but they still have to go to the waterfall. But in the car, this is where they first dropped the Prime Minister storyline. So Shamea is saying that I hope everyone's on time because the Prime Minister's going to be there this evening at the dinner.
I thought we already just talked about the waterfall and the food.
No, we've talked about the waterfall. We didn't talk about the distillery and the food. So, well, no, I mean, we did talk about it. I think the estate, that place looked really nice as well, and it was such a nice location.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was
really nice. Lovely. And then Kelli, they go and cook with the chef, and Kelli proceeds to tell us, like, as she's a chef, she likes to cook and learn new recipes. You're not a chef.
Well, we never seen a cook. Chef a chicken shop. A waffle chicken shop is not a chef. Does not a chef make.
You're not even cooking in there. Please.
Yeah, exactly. Next.
Everyone can put some ingredients together.
Yeah, and then what happens next?
And then they're like oogling at the men. There's all that whole when they're cooking, like it's all that dumpling, and they're referring to the dumplings as like penises and like making comparisons.
Yeah, that was gross. That was all
sexualized. And even Angela's like,
it was too much.
They're like, Angela, go sit down. Angela's like, yeah, I'm not blind though. Like, they are hot, like the men.
Okay,
which is funny. So we did all the dancing about in the waterfall, and Kelli, I felt like she was irritated by Brit when they were eating because Brit was like, I don't eat pork and beef.
You can see the crack forming between them, like you can see them dividing those two, Kelli and Brit. Okay, and then the food looked nice.
Yes. Drew, then they ask about Drew, are you with that guy? Can you give us a tease? Tell us about the guy Black. And she's like, well, look, we're friends. We're just friends. We flirt. If they're flirting, yes, of course. But I don't have the energy and the capacity in me through this divorce to be with someone.
And then we move on to the
Shamea
next
and
scene.
Porsha are in the car on the way back, and they're really like getting close. They're really like vibing with each other, and they're vibing over a song, the "Blow in Your Booty" whole song.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, so that was nice. I really like that. I like to see that they were getting along. I like to see them like being a coalition because they're friends, and you never want to see people like break up, like friends that are like very close, that have been like friends for a long time. You don't want to see them like.
But we all know it goes south again, apparently.
Yeah. We know.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
So then it's the evening. Everyone's getting ready for the dinner, and Angela tries to call Charles again. It's super awkward because she's like insisting that he says he misses her, which he just really doesn't want to. He just keeps saying,
he didn't even say I love you, like when he was saying bye or anything. So she was like, I love you.
He just kept saying, okay. I don't know if he's awkward about being on camera, and he feels like it's fake.
It played that way. Like, I mean, it looked that way a bit to me, and it also looked like he doesn't give a shit about any of this stuff, and he doesn't want to like do it, and he doesn't like her a bit as well.
Yeah, and
like,
I think
it's a bit of everything, a mixture of everything.
Yes, so and she blows it off. She blows it off by saying that I think he's just annoyed with me and not talking to me because he didn't get any action because normally on the anniversary. I mean, if you're only getting action on your anniversary, then there's something wrong there anyway.
No, she said that normally he does get action on the anniversary. So I think that's
but if he can't,
he's upset. No, I don't think she said that he doesn't get action any other time. I think she just meant that this is like normally he's meant to get action on this day as well, so he's pissed.
So, but she could have done it just before and after, so it doesn't make any difference.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, also, so I thought she looked really nice, dressed up, and he didn't even say anything about her looking nice or anything like that. I thought she looked.
I didn't like her red outfit.
I liked it. I thought she looked. I like
the one.
No, I like the makeup and everything, but I don't. The outfit wasn't that great. The makeup was alright. Like I think it's the best she's looked. I'm not saying it's like she looks stunning and great. I'm just saying this is the best she's looked.
I prefer the one in black.
Moving on now. So did they go straight to dinner or?
Wait, they're in the kitchen, and again cracks start to appear. There's more cracks because Shamea was a bit passive aggressive to Brit about the pressure to drink situation.
Yeah, it's just because she doesn't like her basically, and they've already she's just like digging at her. She's digging at her.
She's digging, and then Brit catches whiff of that, and she's like, "Why is she being passive aggressive to me?"
But I don't like Shamea. Like, what kind of person does that? Like, just straight out say, "Look, why are you trying to be something that you're not? You're trying to pretend that you're like rich. Stop pretending."
Yeah, I have a big problem with Shamea.
The way you are is fine.
Shamea is overly sensitive. When people come at her, she just like gets really like defensive, and she also is passive aggressive. So I agree.
And I don't like that.
Kelly's outfit, the flower, she was a whole flower. She was just a flower.
Yeah.
You're too small to be wearing that.
You know when Kelly was out like talking to Cynthia on outside or something, she had her whole tits out. Kelly's like, just put them away, Kelly. Okay, no one needs to see them all the time.
The flower dress was just too much because she just was a whole flower. There's no other body to her because she's so small. Like you can't wear that if you're that tiny.
Yeah,
you just can't.
That's what her stylist wrong.
So Kelly and Shamea, they start talking about the donations at the dinner straight away. And they're basically saying, look, we all need to provide, and like we need to give donations, and we need to be philanthropic because we all got Rolls Royces, Birkins, and she's basically aiming it towards Brit. Brit catches whiff of this, and she says, Brit catches whiff of that, and she says, look, I feel that was passive aggressive. Was that targeted towards me? And Shamea says, no, it wasn't. Shamea, you're wrong. In that moment, you should have just said, yes, because I was annoyed by the fact that you only gave this much. But she wants to spin it and put it back on Brit, which I don't think that was right. She should have just said, yes, I'm annoyed with you.
Yeah.
And then Shamea basically, when it gets too much for Shamea, she just says, calm down, and I'm not gonna talk to you when you're like this. She always does that with everyone.
Yeah, that's a passive aggressive move, and that's making the other person that riles the other person up more.
Exactly.
And she knows it. She knows it.
It's gaslighting for sure.
Yeah.
And then Shamea also says, like, I don't know why Brit's getting him. No, Shamea also says, I don't know why Brit is also upset because I had an off-air conversation with her about the fact that I wasn't happy. So if you had an off-air conversation, why are you bringing it back? That's what I think as well.
Yeah, I think that was really unfair. I don't like Shamea and the way she moves. Basically, I don't like the way she moves is really slimy.
From Brit's perspective, it's like, well, we talked about this off air, so why are you bringing it back here to make me look
I
bad?
did feel bad for her then, hearing that she already got scolded by her, basically.
Yeah, and then she had to bring it back up on air. Like that's not good.
Yeah. So then I think then they were getting a bit heated, and then the Prime Minister came.
No, then Porsha and Brit get into a bit of a spat because Porsha's like, why do you think we're not being supportive? And Brit says, well, you don't even like talk to me or like invite me anywhere. And Porsha says, well, you don't invite me to your house, and yeah, it becomes a weird thing. And then the Prime Minister comes in. He looked really young, to be fair.
Yeah, he looked really skinny, he looked really short, and they put him on a tiny chair as well, and like he looked crazy. And they were just like, "Oh, come and sit with us." They weren't even being like, "This is the Prime Minister." They didn't even get up to like greet him or anything. Yeah. And they were like, "You can come and sit with us if you want." And then they proceeded to flirt with him. That was all really weird.
Really weird. And I just feel like give the man a booster chair or something. Like he should be sitting higher than the ladies.
You're right.
Give him a throne.
And he looked really, really young. Like black really does not crack. Like his skin looked great. He looked like a teenager.
And then they were all like, who's going to make the best first lady when he left, and saying like you could be with him and stuff. The guy said he had kids. Like, why do we not see he might be with someone?
It was all weird. It was all really weird.
Every man's not for you.
Yeah, and then what happened after that?
Angela confesses, and Angela also confesses in that because they said that he's not wearing a ring. The Prime Minister. Angela says, "Well, Charles doesn't wear a ring," and she just put herself in it, obviously.
Oh yeah, and then Porsha's like, "Why do you keep just like putting yourself in it?" Basically, she said something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep opening your big fat mouth? Like, you know.
Yeah, it's like shut your mouth and sit and eat your cake.
She
they
can't
bought
stop
cake out for anniversary,
revealing everything. What?
And Cynthia comes up with the shadiest moment when they bring the cake out. Like, we all hope it works out for you. And I'm just like,
oh yeah, I didn't even catch that. I didn't catch that.
That's a bit heavy. That's a bit heavy. I don't know why she said that. She obviously knows more than we do. Then basically they go back in the car, and Shamea gets a call from her partner.
Oh
Simon?
yeah, that was really sad.
Simon's the other one, about her daughter. I don't understand this.
She's got she's immunocompromised basically. So the nanny left her in a cold room, and she got ill.
Yeah,
and she didn't put like covers on her and stuff like that. No, I think she had clothes on, but I don't think she didn't cover her with a blanket or anything, and she didn't swaddle her or anything. She just left her like that.
No, and she said that she was freezing and had no pajamas on, and then he said something about throwing her.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that, but we'll have to get into that next episode, probably. And basically, so she felt like a lot of mom guilt. She felt a lot of mom guilt that she should have been there, but I feel like she should be there. Like, if it was my kid, I would not be off here unless I needed the money. But she doesn't need the money.
She doesn't need the money.
She just desperately wants to be famous, a famous singer for no goddamn reason. And I think
she's feel guilty.
I think she should feel guilty because her child needs her, and she's not there. And she's not there she's not on this holiday for a specific reason, like for the money. She needs
to be on the holiday for the program for the class.
Yeah, but she doesn't need to be on. But you know what I mean? It's like she doesn't need to be. Yeah, but she doesn't need to be on the program either.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
So I don't know why they're all comforting her and everything.
Mia, at the house, at the villa or whatever, and they're all like supporting her and stuff. And then it all becomes a Brit Edie show because she decides to make a whole speech and be like, "We're your village, and no matter what beef we have, we can put it aside. This is bigger than anything we have going on. I'm gonna have a shot for you." So then she has a shot, double shot. And then she takes her boobs out. She takes her top off.
I don't know. Wait, hang on. Before you get into that, I don't know why she went on and on and on in that little speech that she gave, and it was giving so much fakeness. It was like so fake. And even Porsha was like rolling her eyes and her head and everything like that.
That's what
I don't know what it was. It was just basically about me. Like, look at me, basically. Yeah. She was just like doing a show for herself.
Trying to be dramatic.
Tits out. Like after saying that,
and then her bottom's out as well. Like
like she showed her whole vagina and everything.
Please don't put your boobs and your bum on my table. I might.
Yeah, and no, but not even that. Like she was pretending she was all classy, and then she's not classy in the end. And also, she upset about having her sex tape or whatever out in public, and then she's just like putting herself all out in public.
But that's the controlled thing. She's controlling it. She's doing it. It's okay for her.
I know that, but it's all kind of linked, isn't it? Like. It's of a sexual nature. taking your clothes off is
I guess I see what you're saying. She must have been like really. I think by that point she seemed like she was like really drunk because they obviously cut it differently.
Yeah, but
like,
we've all been really drunk, and none of us have wanted to take our tits out and land them on the table and then take our bottoms off. Okay, it's not really making sense.
She would just say, I was trying to make light of the situation and make Shamea feel better. So I said I'd do anything to make her laugh.
I can't stand Brit. Brit needs to go this season. Also,
she's
we
gone.
Can Angela. No. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
She's got a Bravo thing.
Yeah, she didn't go to the reunion. And she said it's because she was like traumatized by Bravo, and now she's suing Bravo as well. So good luck with that. Because everyone tries to sue Bravo.
I think it's because everyone knows that she's got no money and she's faking it. She doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I think she's just embarrassed.
Yeah, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed by everything. Also, she basically everyone tries to sue Bravo and no one gets any money out of them because they've got so many lawyers. Like, why would you try to do that? Like, you're so dumb. Like, it makes no sense. You
signed your life away. If you sign something, you better read what you're signing because you signed your life away when you're on Bravo.
Yeah. So, guys, let us know. Yeah. So, is there anything else to the episode? Not really, no.
No, that was a quick one.
Yeah, that was really quick. So we've got to move at a pace like that next time, hopefully. So that was a really quick 30-minute episode. It was still 30 minutes. That was quite long. Even though I kept like pushing you along, like we still stretched out to 30 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, so anyway, guys, comment and let us know what you thought. And we will see you, and subscribe and share this with your friends and family, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.